At the end of the East Railway line, where Hong Kong meets mainland China, there is a Taoist temple opposite the train station. Hidden from the street behind the temple is the entrance to a small path. The path is overgrown, and mosquitoes fill the hot, humid air. The path appears to lead nowhere. Bamboo growing wild blocks the way, and the path starts to rise steeply. As the path takes you deeper, the mosquitoes bite at every step. More discouraging are the graves that now litter the side. At the point where most casual walkers decide to turn back, a sign appears. For those making this a pilgrimage, the sign is encouraging and urges them to climb the final steep winding stairs. It is on the crest of the hill that this journey ends, and our story begins. As the West's window into China, Hong Kong was the perfect meeting place for Hollywood filmmakers and the Chinese martial arts. The heroes of Hong Kong action cinema are immortalized on the Avenue of the Stars. The producer Sir Run Run Shaw, film star Jet Li, and Jackie Chan. Besides filling movie theaters, action films also fill kung fu schools. It was in the late 60s that Kung Fu's first heat wave arrived in the form of martial arts superstar Bruce Lee. In the 40 years since Lee's death, this classic pose has become a global icon for the martial arts. It was Bruce Lee's father who introduced his son to Wing Chun Grandmaster Yip Man. a pairing that would speed Wing Chun to the crest of the Kung Fu heatwave for the next decade. At the age of 76, Yip Ching, the son of Grandmaster Yip Man, is still teaching the Wing Chun his father taught him. The Wing Chun Athletic Association was created shortly after Yip Ching started learning Wing Chun in 1962. Yip Ching and his brother Yip Chun are among the handful of first-generation students of Yip Man who teach at the school. Together, they are the caretakers of the Yip Man Wing Chun tradition for the association.
葉問呢喺49年呢已經離開咗佢嘅家鄉佛山，就落咗嚟香港。當時佢因為國內嗰個政策呢，就係對香港有一個所謂封鎖嗰個咁樣嘅制度，所以呢，就佢嘅生活環境比較困難啲，所以咧就係有啲佢嘅朋友啊咩咧就希望佢將自己學到嘅詠春功夫喺香港嚟到成立一間細間嘅拳館，自己喺度教玩詠春。喺香港第一間葉問嘅武館就係喺深水埗大南街嗰間叫做飯店公會嗰度教嘅。咁一路嚟咧就曾經去過幾個地方，即係好似喺深水埗啊、旺角啊，甚至咧就係油麻地咧，都佢喺嗰度啲教過拳嘅。後來咧就係喺60年代嘅初期，即係65、66年之間嘅初期嘅時間咧，佢有一班徒弟。為咗有一個固定嘅地方俾葉問喺度教詠春，所以咧就係大家去鼎力去買咗呢座物業，成立咗詠春體育會。成立嘅時間咧，呢個牌匾都有寫住嘅，係呢個68年7月1日成立呢個會。之前喺67年咧。66年咧就已經向政府申請咗詠春體育會係喺香港政府承認第一間嘅註冊教中國功夫嘅社團嚟嘅，喺度教詠春嘅當時就係。咁後來葉問為咗佢嘅門人，大家團結，大家聚會去推廣詠春嘅時間咧，就成立咗一個詠春體育會。
The classes at the Wing Chun Athletic Association resemble the informal teaching style adopted by Yip Man. Compared to the more formal classes of Japanese or Korean martial arts, a Wing Chun class can appear chaotic. On the other hand, organization of the Wing Chun schools is being encouraged by the association through its membership.
其實而家喺香港都好多詠春教授嘅拳館。其實同詠春體育會個關係係可以講話係好有關係嘅，係差唔多。據我所知道嘅咧，即係話喺出邊而家開館嘅嗰啲師傅咧，可以講話係絕大部分都係由體育會呢邊葉問宗師教出嚟，佢哋出去開館嘅。咁亦都係體育會咧，亦都會係發一個教練證嚟到認可佢哋喺出邊傳授呢個詠春拳嘅。咁所以我話出邊而家所有拳館同詠春體育會咧係息息相關、一脈相傳嘅。
During class, Yip Ching works tirelessly, sharing his 50 years of experience in Wing Chun. When he takes a break, students continue to approach him for help. Yip Ching never refuses. He remembers how he began his own practice watching his father, Yip Man, teach class.
當時我嘅年紀只係11、12歲，好細嘅。咁咧就見人哋喺度玩功夫，我自己企喺度玩啊，咁樣即係跟住人哋模仿，可以講係模仿人哋做嘅動作。喺嗰段時間年齡咧，我只不過係叫做識玩一套小念頭，根本詠春嗰啲嘢冚唪唥我都係唔係好了解嘅。咁直到62年，我落咗嚟香港，當年係24、25歲嘅時間咧，先係正式跟葉問學詠春。由嗰陣時開始咧，就可以講至到今時今日，我都係對詠春都係有一種好有興趣，而且咧就好專心嘅，可以講係到現在我都係一個係教授詠春功夫嘅一個師傅嚟嘅。
And as a Wing Chun teacher, Yip Ching still enjoys teaching the most basic of the Wing Chun forms. In teaching the Wing Chun taught by Yip Man, he is preserving the system that was developed in Hong Kong in the later years of Yip Man's life.
佢嘅教授嘅內容都係環繞係葉問宗師傳授落嚟嗰幾套拳，同埋喺個內容裏邊去教授嘅，係咯，即係喺呢個拳館喺呢個詠春體育會裏邊所教嘅，全部都係葉問宗師所謂嘅葉問詠春，都喺度教授。內容咧就每一個師傅佢都有佢自己嘅教授嘅方法，咁呢個係但係教導嘅詠春拳都係葉問詠春。
我首先講葉問教詠春，教任何一個徒弟，包括我兩兄弟跟葉問學嘅時間，都係教一樣嘅嘢，冇另一樣嘅版本，有啲好有啲唔好冇嘅，呢個就係。就算出邊有人咁講咧，可以講係對葉問唔理解嘅啫，咁嘅時間咧係。
As a patriarch of the Yip Man family, Yip Ching acknowledges his job is more than passing on the Wing Chun his father passed on to his sons. He must nurture his students and fan the flames that will make them love Wing Chun the way he does. Not all teachers may teach the same Wing Chun, but all must share this philosophy if Wing Chun is to continue as a world-class martial art. To continue to develop, Wing Chun has to be sustained by passion and dedication, regardless of the lineage.
所以你話詠春今後嘅發展咧，我覺得咧詠春嘅今後發展咧，就希望咧啲仲係一路嚟咁興盛嘅，就唔會話喺突然間咧有一個特別嘅情形嘅咩？當年可以講詠春係有幾個熱潮嘅過程。喺葉問推廣詠春到李小龍嘅時間咧，李小龍嘅出現就俾將詠春係稍微提升一啲啫，就唔係話由李小龍去做成咗呢樣嘢。好啦，到葉問過身嘅時間咧，詠春已經係推廣到係發展到好廣㗎啦。咁曾經不知不覺嘅時間咧，就係將葉問詠春拳喺美加歐洲推行咗出嚟，咁詠春有今日嗰個發展得咁快咧，呢個咧就可以講係一種唔係葉問唔係有心將功夫去推去外邊，係有一種咁嘅環境造成咗出嚟嘅。
The environment that Yip Man created through his students is his greatest contribution to Wing Chun. It has allowed Wing Chun to reach all four corners of the earth. Just a few minutes' walk from the Wing Chun Athletic Association is a school that embraces this legacy through its teacher, Donald Mack.
In the 70s, actually there's a kung fu hit in Hong Kong because after Bruce Lee, I was actually by that time already lured and attracted by the master kung fu. One of my classmates' brother, he knew my sifu, now my sifu Chun son. Actually, I stayed with my sifu for more than about 20 years. And then not until about 10, 12 years ago, my sifu encouraged me that, well, you're good enough to start your own school. Don't just stay with me. And then I started teaching. Now I get about 100 schools in Europe. We have about 2,000 students.
In my first week in Hong Kong, I came to the school and started training. So it's like my life's passion now. So when I'm not working, I'm here at school studying Wing Chun.
Well, I was transferred here to work, and I thought that whilst I was in Hong Kong, I'd make the most of some of the Hong Kong traditions, and one of those traditions is Kung Fu, particularly Wing Chun.
It embodies a lot of Chinese culture inside it. The yin and yang, the doctrine of meridian, we have center line. This all is actually embody a lot of Chinese culture, and that makes it so popular. Yeah. And of course, Bruce Lee is one of the factors. Yeah, everybody look at Bruce Lee style JKD and what is his mother style, or his mother style is Wing Chun. Then also one of the factors that makes it popular.
It's been a journey of discovery, I guess, because you learn about movements and ways of thinking that you might never have come across before.
Have to fall into think in the Chinese cultural way, philosophical way. What does it mean? Chinese more like the culture, the philosophy more tend to generalization. When we do the Wing Chun, some people, when you sit on the stance, they, in the foreign country, Western or America, they will say, 45 degree or 22.5 degree. Actually, the degrees, we have some reference. Then which is the reference? When we learned, we never learn any degree. We just learn, we have to lead the customer, the attack to our shoulder. We generalize like that. Another example is of the stance. The stance, they will say, this stance is 90-10. 10% of weight is on front leg, or 90% on the rear leg. Or some, no, it should be 50-50. It should be 70-30. Drill on the numbers, on the figures. Actually, in our time, we never say it is what's the number of figures. We just said we have to sit on the stance. We can be able to lift up with the front leg without moving the body. We generalize it, and because our front this side is soft, this side is solid. It's a yin and yang. It's a whole universe. So, but I will understand the Western mentality is need to be analytical. Should I face there? This degree 45, or should I face there? Face there. No, it's the fighting. It's not concerned about angle. You pump. Once we get it, then go to the shoulder, then lead it to the empty. Then that will serve the purpose already. Sit on the stance, yin and yang. One side is absorbed, one side is solid. One side yin, one side is solid. That is make the yin and yang part in the system. Then this we think, we generalize things like that. So this will be my advice 2 points. One, they need to relaxation, more soft. Second, we need to think in the Chinese way.
I think if you study Wing Chun, you become a much calmer person, and I think you're able to face stressful situations. Don't use a lot of force or power or your muscles. I think it's something you can do, into your 70s or 80s, and it's something that will keep even an old person fit and in good shape.
Wing Chun system has the 3 forms: Siu Lim Tao, Chum Kiu, and Biu Ji. Siu Lim Tao form is more stationary. You just sit on the stance for doing all the movement. While you're sitting on the stance, the hands doing some techniques, giving you some concepts. This is to still maintain, to get your stability, get your hand techniques in the right position, and get the woodedness from the ground. So that's the original purpose of the form of Siu Lim Tao. And then second form, the Chum Kiu is defense. Biu Ji is for more techniques, attacking techniques, and long bridge power. So I will design my curriculum in this way, according to our form. That is traditional. But the modern aspect is I put in more exercise. More exercise, more two-man exercise, not just doing on your own, or you're just standing there. And more exercise that can apply or extract the techniques which you have learned in the form. Not just you practice it, and you can also apply it, but not move yet. Because the main theme as a beginner, for the beginner, should train more on the stability, the structure. The structure is more important, the woodedness. So if you start moving so easily, then you lose your structure or lose the woodedness. But your hand still can move, then this is somewhere in between modern and traditional. Not all the traditional is just standing there. They still have to move, they do have some exercise to do it. So those exercises will not waste their time, because this is actually to help them to understand the application, to understand the techniques they learn from the form.
Mentally, you learn quite a lot about self-control and the idea that before you can control anyone else in a given situation, you have to control yourself.
A 5-minute ferry ride across Victoria Harbour connects Hong Kong to Kunlun on the mainland. With its largely Chinese population, a variety of kung fu has always been available in Kunlun. By the early 1950s, Wing Chun started to make an appearance in the Sham Shui Pao and Mong Kok districts through Yip Man. Today, there are many Wing Chun schools on both sides of the harbor. While the first language of Wing Chun is Cantonese, some schools teach in English, a leftover from British rule and Wing Chun's global expansion. Like most Chinese martial arts, Wing Chun is passed down orally from teacher to student. As the daily practice turns into years, the student will approach or surpass the level of his teacher, and in most cases, the student will survive him. So it was for Yip Man student Leung Xiang, who was in turn the teacher of Nwasam. Today, a year after the death of Nwasam, his students continue this lineage in opening a school in his memory.
When he doing punch, we do a 問手. 問手 basically, I don't use power, just like this, okay? Once we have contact, then I can do the next movement. We call 立手. 立手 and punch at the same time. If he's going to punch you, you have to do like a 標手, or we call asking hand, 問手. See what next step, what he want to do. 問手, then we do a 拍手 and hit at the same time. They are all from the 小念頭. This is a basic movement. We just testing his power or testing his force. What he going to do? But of course, 100% we know he's going to try to hit you. And right now he used the Wing Chun how to block my 問手. Okay. So we don't have time to think. We only have time to feel the force. Where is the opponent force or direction? Or how can we redirect their force? This is a 捆手. Okay? And after 捆手, I use a 立手and hit. 黐手 is the most important training in the Wing Chun system. because this is the only way you can learn or the sensitivity of others. That's why the asking hand is to know the opponent, what is his next step to do. And most important thing is we will try to keep my center line to attack the opponent.
到你啦。
This is the Wing Chun first form, 小念頭, and this form is the most important in the Wing Chun system because most of the basic movement is from the 小念頭 and all the concept is from the 小念頭. You should not doing fast. Basically, 小念頭, you have to do it slowly. And all the movement and angle and speed must be the same every time. The hand, upper, lower, the angle must be correct each time. For example, the 綁手, 攤手, 間手, every time must be the same. So that when you practice long enough, every movement, you don't need to think about it. Then you can use it immediately. And during the 起手, all the movement is from 小念頭. You can see that we just demonstrate the 起手.
The Wing Chun they practice will ultimately follow that of Long Chuang, their teacher's teacher. It is a style governed more by a set of principles than repetitive technique. In this way, the Wing Chun remains unchanged. It will survive the passing of each generation as each student becomes teacher. Central District is one of Hong Kong's most vibrant and diverse communities. Nightlife and entertainment, shopping and commerce are packed tightly together. During the day, the busy streets are home to British stockbrokers, bankers, and Chinese businessmen. Only in Central, nestled among the skyscrapers, would you expect to find a health club owned by expat Australians teaching Chinese Kung Fu.
So again, we want to just mobilize the hip joint and stabilize the pelvis and the spine. So we're just awakening that hip joint. In Hong Kong, there's, if you walk down the street, every second block you can look up and there's a Wing Chun school or another Kung Fu school. So there's definitely a lot of information, there's a lot of skill here in Hong Kong, and Wing Chun is a very special thing, and it should be passed on regardless of culture, regardless of race, whatever. It should be taught, and that people should have the opportunity to learn it, even if they don't want to follow the traditional side of it. Yeah. Basically, the type of Wing Chun that we do is a very internal style of Wing Chun. So it's from Yip Man, and my grandmaster's name is Choi Song Tim. He's the #1 student of Yip Man at the moment. He's the longest man. He's 78 years old. He's been teaching for over 60 years. And his style is, as I said, very much internal, working on basically the mind and body connection. Going in with our mind to the body and just feeling the body and trying to use our mind to control the body rather than muscles. This is practiced in the first form of Wing Chun called Siu Lim Tao, and which it translates to little idea or small thought. So it's got nothing to do, the name itself, it doesn't suggest anything to do with fighting or martial art. It's that mind force that takes time to train, takes years and years and years.
It's completely different from what I was expecting of a Kung Fu class. It's not a very visual martial art. It's not about doing fancy moves and flying kicks and things like that. It's probably mostly about relaxing, and that's what's kept me coming back. The challenge of whenever you figure out something new about it, you realise you've only peeled back a layer and it's like an onion and there's more and more complexity underneath. Maybe complexity is the wrong way. It actually gets more and more simple the more you understand about it. But in Wing Chun, it seems that, again, the more practice you have, the more you experience it, the more you try, the more there is in the form. So when you're first doing it, it's just, okay, it's very, very simple moves, and you can copy it, and you can see the teachers and think, okay, I'm learning what you're doing just by copying this. And then they can tell you what they're doing, but you don't quite get it. And then one day you'll suddenly realise, oh, it's not that I'm doing this and this and this, it's this one constant flow that's coming forward. And you suddenly understand a bit more, and you don't understand it all, obviously, but it's a little bit. And then that keeps you going back and looking at, oh, well, what about when I do this? Right, there's a lot more to it than I originally thought.
I found that Wing Chun has helped with my pregnancy a lot more, just because what I'm aiming to, I'm not doing any of the technique stuff that you're seeing today. I'm just focusing on trying to relax my muscles and try and keep my posture as straight as possible, which helps to release any pain in my lower back or sciatica that is quite common for pregnant women to get. So that's what my training is focusing on at the moment, just standing, trying to relax. The internal aspect of it really helps a lot, and as a woman as well, women are much more relaxed people generally, so we're able to generate a lot more power properly, rather than sort of a big guy. I'm able to get quite a lot of power just through being relaxed through my joints. So it's even though we seem like we have a disadvantage because we're smaller and not as strong, actually we have a great advantage over a lot of the men because of the relaxation we're able to achieve within our bodies.
I've only been doing Wing Chun 3 years, so I thought if I was in a fight for whatever reason, that it would mostly be my other martial arts that would come out in a reflex action. But in this case, I was in the toilet, got attacked from behind by 2 guys, and one guy ran off straight away. I hit him twice, and it was very fast. I just turned, and as I turned, my arm extended, the other one hit him straight away. I've had situations before, but you always try and talk your way out of it. When you learn a martial art, there's a responsibility there, I think, for that. Yeah, so what shocked me when I looked at it later was how fast it was and responsive, and it was all Wing Chun. I was aiming for the centre. The second punch he threw at me, I saw it in my peripheral, but I wasn't even worried about it because all the power came out of the arm, because I was just aiming for his centre and moving him backwards. Yeah, so it was good.
Just a short tram ride from Central is the Wan Chai neighborhood. Space is a precious commodity in Hong Kong, and Wan Chai is no different, with rents at a premium. But like many Chinese communities, if you look hard enough and you look high enough, you should find a kung fu school. High above the appliance and hardware stores is the Wing Chun Martial Arts Club.
8、9、10，連環拳，1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8，攤打，1、2，轉馬綁手，1、2、3、4、2、3，轉，1、1、2、1、2、3，1、1、2、1、2、3，唔好係要轉馬，唔係要轉馬。
Sifu Kong Chi Kung has practiced other martial arts besides Wing Chun, including Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do and more recently kickboxing in Thailand. In an unusual reversal, he was recently invited to teach Wing Chun to the monks of the Southern Shaolin Temple.
咁喺即係舊年嘅時間啦，2001年啊嘛，係咪啊？應該係舊年，係啦，應該舊年。咁我咧就正式咧就翻入去少林寺咧就教佢哋木人樁法。咁少林寺咧亦都好重視我哋呢次翻去呢個教授課程。佢喺少林寺裏邊咧選咗6個比較點樣講啊？資深啲嘅武僧出嚟跟我學呢個木人樁。咁我亦都承諾咗咧，每一年咧我會翻去2次，咁樣不斷去教佢哋啦。咁其實 呢件事咧喺我武術人生之中咧，我係深感比較真係自豪嘅。我哋呢個位置，當一攤手，一去到我哋第一個動作就係一個正掌，對方係枕手嘅。我哋就喺原位呢個位咧，綁起呢隻手。當呢隻手踭一拉落嚟嗰陣時咧，係食翻住對方個位。主要咧，我哋就係話，除咗我哋守好我哋自己個位嗰陣時咧，我哋主要咧就係令到佢個身體去移動，令佢個平衡咧就失咗平衡嘅。所以呢個動作，呢隻手咧一落去一綁一上去，點解呢個手一落到去咧？而家打正掌落去，佢綁手咧，因為其實當你第日你機會同人哋去交流嗰陣時，一去呢個位，你個手你已經係綁㗎，因為呢個位咧，當呢個手咧去到呢度咧，如果我喺呢個位咧做一個正綁手嘅動作咧，一起就冇咗嘅。但係如果我將呢個綁手去到呢個位置，即係我而家打嘅掌喺呢度停留，喺呢個位置，我稍為一個手嗱，我拎個人成個人會起㗎。同埋咧呢個動作兩個手做完嗰陣時咧，嗱一個動作一起綁完呢隻手嗱去，好啦，你拎開晒手，兩隻手踭一定係要平衡嘅balance嘅。所以咧呢個點解要平衡咧？呢個第一節裏面咧係好重視佢因為我哋個動作咧第一時間攻防就喺呢個位。譬如我呢個手一度，呢個手嗱嘣一度一綁呢個手去，俾啲力啦個手嗱一落去一綁一去嗱，一手就要打㗎呢手啦。嗱綁係啦，一落去嗱呢個手咧，同埋咧呢個手一定要係咁樣食住，唔好個手喺呢個位置，因為對方有力嚟咧，你個手係反嘅。所以呢個手嗱一正掌綁手落去嗱一食住佢，大家食住佢。呢度係第一節嚟嘅。詠春咧其實唔係淨係得我哋葉問一系嘅支流嘅，仲有其他嘅支流嘅。譬如喺廣州啊、佛山啊，仲有其他嘅師傅嘅流派喺度。但係我哋葉問詠春，因為點解俾人當咗好似得一派咁咧？因為我哋喺全世界嘅發展咧係比較蓬勃，所以咧如果對我哋詠春唔係咁深入了解咧，就覺得葉問詠春咧就代表晒，其實就唔係，仲有其他嘅支流嘅。當呢個手黐手嗰陣時，當對方個手嗱正掌打嚟嗰陣時，我係一個枕手，但係注意一點咧，就係話俾你聽，隻手千祈唔好過子午線，因為佢呢個拳佢會攞我。但係如果呢個手佢一打嚟，我枕呢隻手，佢個手如果一定要佢要過嚟嘅嗱，我就會立住打佢，因為點解咧？我一定會俾條路佢行嘅。當佢呢個手正掌打嚟，好啦，佢呢個過爭錘打落嚟咧，我哋唔同佢頂嘅。相反嗱，佢打過嚟嗰陣時，我枕住。佢嘅手一過嚟嗰陣時啦，我唔係轉馬隔開佢嘅手轉過嚟，我係跟住佢膊頭轉。點解咧？因為我喺呢個位睇住佢，我係睇住佢兩隻手。假設佢衝拳嚟打我啦，我就要會上走啊，係嘛？正掌啊過爭錘，好啦，喺呢個位置喺裏面啦，喺呢個位置裏面咧，佢要做一個拋綁手，因為點解佢手後咗喺裏面？唔使驚，手錯意改啊！佢呢個正綁手拋落嚟，嘣，我係要食翻佢。嗱，你要睇情形。如果佢就咁嘅綁手裏面，我就搭住佢都得啦，搭住佢都得啦。但係如果佢手佢一有力啊，我就要食住佢。點解咧？當佢食住呢個手，好啦，當佢攤手嗰陣時啦，我就會打佢，我會食佢力化佢力。所以呢個手嗰陣時啦，正掌嗱過爭錘綁手，嗱正掌嗱過爭錘綁手。我哋詠春嘅特點咧，其實咧好多時咧，你見到我哋咧就比較好多招式嘅變化，實質咧，我哋詠春拳咧係唔係招式拳術嚟嘅，係意念拳術嚟嘅。咁我哋點解要有套路？最 basic 嘅嘢係由套路入去咧，我哋就叫做話以招式入門，係要我意念發揮。咁我哋詠春拳咧，擅長於咧就係中短距離發揮。善於埋身去搶攻去搏擊嘅，所以咧，我哋詠春拳咧喺發嘅時間裏面咧，喺埋身嘅短距離咧係相當唔錯嘅。咁當我哋一黐手嗰陣時咧，佢嘅動作一樣係正掌過爭錘，但係呢個第二節嗰陣時包含裏面咧，正綁手上嚟，嗱呢個手上嚟，我哋係會還原嘅，咁但係呢個手咧，我哋配合翻 第二節裡面點解要出呢個搏？就係話當你呢個手佢正掌打嚟搏嗱，見唔見到人哋一食住你你就冇啦，係咪？咁但係我而家唔係綁手，我要去拍手衝拳，拍手衝拳 ，right OK 正掌拍手衝拳，係咪出唔到嚟啊？所以呢個膊頭一打嗰時咧，一定要扭晒出嚟。咁即係話我嘅手喺呢度，一嚟嗰陣時嘅手，即係話俾你，一嚟個手我哋要入個膊入去打佢，唔係咧，即係而家佢睇住我呢個手，如果佢嘅踭底靚嘅，撳住呢個手，嗱我拍佢入唔到啊，但我膊個頭入到佢就入，就要練呢個膊頭入去啦。當佢呢個手正掌過踭錘，佢一拍手嗰陣時，拍我呢個手我就睇住佢，得唔得？咁好啦，由於佢個手喺，其實我可以即刻立住打佢。其實我哋而家因為大家俾個機會大家喺黐手裏面去練呢個功夫。其實點解我哋有呢個情況裏面咧？呢個咧就係話俾喺黐手裏面嘅中段嘅功夫，叫半離橋練法。當我啲手睇住呢個位咧，其實我頭先咪可以頭先見到我即刻立住打佢咯。呢個戰機唔係好啦，我要佢俾個機會我俾翻個機會佢。點解我要佢立打？因為佢兩隻手喺我手嘅下邊，所以個手佢一立嗰陣時，一立個手。嗱，我兩個手立去，嗱再立去，做3下嘅動作裏邊，點解咧？大家起碼有個次數嘅練習，但係去到做3裏面，我唔想佢公式化咁一路係咁立落，係咁立落去，係冇意思嘅。你明唔明啊？我要製造戰機同埋緊湊，模擬佢同人不斷喺度打緊，對方不斷咁變。所以呢個橋咧，咩叫半離橋？呢一個拳我直打過去嗰陣時咧，係完全離晒佢嘅手，咁佢係會用咗我哋拳系裏面第二個綁手，攝綁手啦。嗱，一轉落去，個手你手立，你手立啊，立，嗱再立，再立，嗱我再打啦，嗱呢個拳啊，佢一攝，佢立過嚟，嗱一立，一立，一立，嗱一立落去嗰拳嗰陣時咧，輪到佢打翻我啦。呢個手嗱，我一接翻去，我哋就會連接翻佢黐手。咁當我呢個手嗱，我打完呢個手嗱，我落去呢個位嗱，我一拍打佢呢個手嗱，我手立落去1、2、3，佢呢個橋打我啦，我攝嗱，我翻原身嘅手落去立1、2、3，嗱呢個手落去，如此類推。咁我哋練習嗰陣時咧，嗰個情況咧就唔會斷噶。其實咧，我認為咧，而家學習詠春嗰啲咧，有一個正確嘅態度同埋嘅目標，唔好因為追求你到底正唔正宗，佢究竟佢嘅輩分有幾高？我覺得我會鼓勵大家去不斷去學習，同埋咧去點樣改良詠春，改良詠春。因為點解咧？而家全世界嘅武術發展緊好犀利，發展好犀利。同埋咧譬如我而家教緊啲學生，佢未學詠春之前，佢學過 karate， right？ 學過 boxing， 學過太極。咁佢本身已經練開㗎啦，佢本身已經練開嘅，佢身體已經有存在嗰啲記憶喺度。咁到佢練嗰陣時，或者係打嗰陣時，佢不知不覺會滲透呢啲嘢出嚟嘅。咁我覺得一樣嘢，你認為好嘅、啱嘅，我係點啊？贊成佢哋去改良詠春嘅，因為點解咧？世界進步嘛，你唔去接受新事物，你唔去改良自己唔得嘅嘢，咁你只有就退步。詠春到日後咧，就只係得一個名嘅嘢。嗱，去到第4節，咁我先嚟一個咧，我哋呢個咧就叫上馬逼綁。逼綁手係我哋第5隻。其實逼綁手其實咧喺頭4個綁手，正綁手、攝綁手同埋拋綁手、低綁手都好，只要將4個綁手向前踏前一步向前逼咧，咁我哋都叫做逼綁手啊。咁所以咧，第5個綁手咧喺拳套裏面就揾唔到嘅，喺套路裏面揾唔到嘅，係我哋嘅用法嚟嘅，係我哋嘅用法嚟嘅。咁喺以下呢個黐手嘅環節裏面咧，因為咧好多時黐手裏面咧，我哋係企定喺度啊，長期咁練10年8年啊，唔好話10年8年，半年裏面咧，你腳咧就只可以企喺度同人打，你又冇進退嘅，唔會有進退嘅。咁你喺呢個環節裏面咧，就話對方敵人已經身體移動，不論進攻又好，退馬又好，我哋都係要去攻擊人嘅，係個意念。咁喺呢個環節裏面咧，練習嗰陣時咧，一樣係呢個動作。首先講翻第一個環節裏面，佢呢個正掌一打，好啦， 因為呢個動作咧，佢加埋呢步馬，佢一上馬一拋磅嗰陣時咧，好啦，佢係成個俾人拋起，咁好啦。但係我呢個動作功夫冇話硬頂硬食嘅，所以呢個手佢一正掌一打嚟呢個位 ，OK， 打嚟個磅拋磅泵，我咪成個咩鬥氣啊？唔係啊，但係我感到佢手磅一嚟磅啦，我隻手已經射佢馬，但係我呢個一壓住佢嘅，一立磅上嚟，啪，我哋食住佢嘅，得唔得？跟住咧，我哋做呢個動作，拍佢呢隻手，喺呢隻手偷落去。其實我哋練呢個偷流手，不過我唔打，我喺上邊揾佢呢隻手。你見啦，當呢個動作，我打正掌，嗱我一攝佢磅，嗱我上一搏，嗱佢退馬呢隻手收晒佢咯，佢呢個手壓出去，嗱佢退馬都好，呢個你要頂住我㗎，唔會俾我收入泵，嗱唔會俾我扼死㗎泵，去一拍手上嚟啊，拍黐呢個手。每家嘅武術同埋每一門嘅拳術都好啦，唔敢講大家都話係100%完美，我哋詠春都係一樣。其實咧每個門派都有佢自己嘅訓練方法，同埋佢嘅打法，佢嘅見解。如果係冇用嘅，呢個而家現今呢個咁社會咁發達，佢自不然咧係自己係被淘汰嘅，被淘汰嘅。譬如而家佢埋打我，一手落去，再逼埋嚟，冧，好啦，大家喺呢個僵持嘅動作裏面，我食住佢對方，佢要點樣做？佢要全身而退，重組個嗱。譬如佢而家就算咬住我呢個位置都好，佢而家已經係完全咬住我呢個位置，但係我好力，我要鎖住佢。佢點樣要重組裏面咧？重組嘅動作就要點樣出去啦？點樣出去啊？點樣出嚟啊？出唔到。咁好啦，我教你點樣出咗去重組呢個動作。譬如而家拳腳打嚟，啪一手落去，呢一腳拉後，拉成個人拉後，拉入去，再翻嚟打，為出一出一入。我哋出去唔係怕咗佢，我哋出去重組，換一啖氣入嚟，再同佢打過，係咪啊？所以喺呢個動作裏面，當一黐手嗰陣時，佢正掌。一打我，佢一綁手起，我出嚟，嘣一打我，一、二，好啦，喺呢個環境裏面，兩錘攻唔入。葉問話齋，一拳起兩拳止，三拳一定係打佢唔低嘅象高手。所以咧喺呢個動作喺呢個位置，佢會喺呢個手一落去，一出嚟嗰陣時咧，佢會起腳打我。喺呢個動作咧，頭先大家拳操已經係練過啦，佢會拍手落嚟，我就會托佢手。當佢一分開呢個手裏面咧，呢隻手仲喺呢個馬步裏面咧，成個人拉後。係啦，佢一拉後喺呢個度，咁佢係咪同我一個中距離喺裏面啊？喺呢個時間喺裏面咧，我練習裏面咧，見手追形啦，即係手追翻入去嘅手啦，嗱，我打呢個正掌，我綁呢個位置，嗱，我打你一、二，佢嘅手一擺落去，一落去，點解呢個手咧？我打到呢個手咧，喺呢個位置裏面，呢個手咧，打，點解呢個手佢會擺落去咧？呢個手點解會擺落去咧？就我呢個拳，我點解會起腳咧？其實有個用意嘅。佢突然間就跌隻手，係咪冇手啊？佢呢拳係咪打我啊？打我啊？係咪打我啊？好啦，當呢拳突然間佢唔見我，呢個手急腳扶啦，得唔得？跟住我呢個腳咧轉咗個馬步先，係啦。呢個手我落去嗱，我會拍晒呢個位置，我撳呢個手，你拍我手嗱，我就會係呢啲位攞你噶啦。我哋呢個馬咧，所以頭先咧，我哋頭先一落完呢個腳啦。一落嚟咧，呢個馬步我哋先轉咧，呢個三角形係好重要嘅。你哋明唔明我講咩啊？呢個拳1、2、3，佢起腳一落嚟喺呢個位咧，喺呢個位食住係好緊要嘅，係全贏嘅，係咪啊？假設呢個手而家你立嚟打我，結啦，大力啲，係咪食住啊？對方我呢個馬步，呢個三角馬落係好重要，我哋可以扣。呢個手我哋可以走位，我哋可以踩，甚至呢個手我哋圈腳彈都得嚇。嗰啲後話，所以人哋話我哋詠春冇腳咧係錯嘅。所以呢個手嚟到嗰陣時，正掌綁手一上馬落一立打1、2起腳一拍一去走好啦，跟住我黐翻手嗱，我正掌我綁手嗱1、2、3一踢嗱一落去打拍嗱，我手出翻嚟。見唔見得？好啦，咁你試下快嘅動作又睇點做？慢慢嚟練習，唔好心急。 2、3，搏。起腳要俾啲力。
At the tip of Kunlun are some of Hong Kong's busiest streets. Is paradise for mainland Chinese shopping for brand names and bargaining for watches and pearls. For a foreign visitor coming here to learn Wing Chun, Hong Kong can be intimidating and expensive. High above the bustling sidewalk of Nathan Road is a Kung Fu school that offers a perfect solution. The Yip Man Martial Arts Athletic Association is more than a good Wing Chun school. It is also a hostel, providing budget accommodation for its students. For our foreign visitor needing a hotel room, this school holds the key in providing both Wing Chun classes and a bed. The school was founded by Master Sam Lau, a first-generation student of Yip Man and one of Hong Kong's most active and outspoken teachers. His entire life has been devoted to Wing Chun, both as a teacher and ambassador promoting Wing Chun across China.
或者佢學個嘢係正宗啲睇到嘅，咁佢咪過嚟學啦。過嚟學亦都唔係個個有錢啊，咁佢咪要住我哋啲咁嘅地方宿舍啦。我哋呢個功夫嘅地方咧，即係話當然我哋教功夫啦，但係又提供住宿。咁啊，即係話最後咧，我哋係要把佢即係話全部係俾嗰啲外國人啊嚟到或者中國人去嚟香港學功夫。費用我哋好平啊，即係我哋一般咧，如果係住咧，就我哋包埋落嗰個教練即係嗰個學費嗰度 intensive course， 我哋收係6000蚊，連埋住，連埋即係 intensive course。但係如果有啲淨係住嘅時間咧，我哋收佢係2000蚊啊一個月啊，一個床啊，一個床位啊，多咪住啊。另外即就係學費照另外俾啊，即係咁樣。任何人都唔係蠢人，你嘅手法得唔得佢睇到啊？你教嘅嘢係好唔好，佢都知道。而家反為外國人咧，就係比即係話佢學嘅嘢咧，仲比我哋香港人積極啊！佢既然揾到即係睇到有好嘅功夫啊，喺香港嘥半年，等於喺國外花好多時間學唔到嘅時間咧，佢就走嚟香港。
Start by finding something that you're really interested in, because if you're not interested in it, then there's no point in learning. Don't go because somebody tells you it's good. Don't go because somebody tells you it's amazing. Go see if it's good. Go see if it's amazing. Once you're at the school, don't only look at how the teacher teaches. Look at the condition, whether you like the condition, whether you feel comfortable in the environment, whether you feel you like the way of teaching of the teacher. Because even if Bruce Lee's alive now, you might not like the way he's teaching.
5點半開課。你上到10點半得啊，就隨你。如果你係有能力、有興趣，可以練耐啲、學耐啲，冇問題。
每周來2次，星期2、星期4，大概用3個小時吧。6點到9點鐘吧。
Drills are practiced in pairs, in a relaxed state, using a minimal amount of force. Each move becomes a reflex action, triggered by the opponent's attack. The arms remain in contact with the opponents, sensing changes in force, and instinctively searching for holes in their defense. Students help each other by exposing their partner's weakness. They pause only to look for ways to improve the efficiency of each movement.
Wing Chun is all about efficiency, and efficiency in the terms of finding the shortest distance between me and you, which is a straight line. Efficiency meaning economy of motion, meaning I don't jump around, I don't dance in 2 circles before I throw a kick. I punch and I kick. And I might use something to get you out of the way and hit you. I might use something to get you to fall into me and hit you. But it's all about attack, attack, attack. There is defense as well, but we use defense and offense at the same time, so it's more efficient.
When compared to other martial arts, Wing Chun looks deceptively simple as a means of self-defense. There are no unnecessary movements. No energy is wasted. Punches become blocks. Blocks become punches.
The traditional school of thought is, if he attacks me, I'd have to block his attack and then attack, which separates it into 2 beats. But with Wing Chun, when he attacks, I block and attack at the same time, which means as he's attacking me, I'm hitting him too, but I've defended as well, which makes it efficient, which is why I like it, because it's streamlined, it's effective, it's simple, it's easy to learn.
It is this simplicity which drew Bruce Lee to Wing Chun, and it became a bridge to his own style. He likened Wing Chun to a sculptor who chisels away what is not needed, never adding to a martial art, but hacking away at the unessential. The easy way is always the right way, Lee would say.
就16、17歲時候咧，我就識葉問啦嚇。咁當時咧叫葉問教功夫，咁葉問咧就佢都冇開學校，只係私家教。咁所以咧就佢介紹我去個徒弟度學，所以我個開山師傅啊，我個徒弟咧叫姓梅嘅梅日。咁後嚟咧就我咧都玩得唔錯，即係又去同人講手啊，諸如此類咁樣。咁啊葉問亦都有睇我點樣去即係話練習啊咁樣嘅。咁啊雖然佢話叫我喺第度學啫，但係佢都有指導我啊。而家咧，即係我就係葉問國術總會嘅主席啊。咁啊，而家我哋教嘅係最傳統嘅詠春啊，亦都冇加多減少，亦都冇即係話奇奇怪怪加啲手法落去啊，比較傳統同埋係比較實用、純正嘅詠春。但係由於咧就係話而家太多嘅詠春出現啊，幾百種詠春。咁啊，就算葉問嘅徒弟嘅手法亦都唔一樣啊！葉問個徒弟嘅徒孫或者個徒弟嘅徒弟，佢嘅手法又唔一樣嘅，即係視乎你學咗幾多嘢出嚟教。當你教咧，如果你功夫唔夠嘅時間，你要加多減少，加啲嘢落去，變咗呢啲就唔係正宗詠春。所以即係話，當然即係話，即係葉問係嘅詠春咧，都係有相近啦，係嘛？即係比較相近啦，係嘛？因為都係葉問嗰支水嘅，但係都係有啲差別。但係何況即係話唔係葉問嗰支水嗰啲詠春咧，差別更大。所以變咗而家係詠春咧，再唔把佢統一嚟講咧，係將會變咗1000幾百派都有啊，各色其色。咁變咗咧，我哋有啲都唔，佢有詠春之實。有詠春之名啊，而無詠春之實啊，變咗就咁解。
As Wing Chun continues to spread around the globe, the fear for Sam Lau is that it will follow the fate of other Chinese martial arts that faltered outside China. Without strong leadership to guide the Wing Chun community, each branch will continue to go their own way. A standard of teaching and uniform criteria would help to unify and strengthen Wing Chun at a worldwide level.
最容易一體化咧，就係把佢改為有個制度嘅詠春拳術，所以我哋就叫做詠春拳道啊。咁樣咧就我哋其實詠春拳道咧同詠春拳係冇乜分別嘅，只不過係有級數、有考試、有升級、有段位，即係大家有個標準嚟到比賽，大家有即係話。同一個標準去切磋咁咧就即係你有比賽等容易得推廣咁樣咧唔正宗。但係我同你講，我哋唔 講話正宗唔正宗，正宗係無補於事嘅。你嗰個功夫得唔得，用唔用得上就最緊要。
Any martial art practiced well would have its self-defense value, because otherwise it wouldn't have remained to this day. Because, I mean, up until recent times, there were fights everywhere. And if it survived, then it probably helped you survive. Otherwise, those people would have stopped learning it or stopped training it. So I think every style has its benefits.
我係中意葉問功夫，因為佢係實際打翻嚟嘅，即係同時咧，即係話，因為每次我哋都修正，因為而家呢個功夫世界功夫咧日新月異嘅，我哋仲不能夠係流傳喺正宗兩個字，正宗即係冇改動啊，但我哋要改動。因為葉問佢以前喺佛山，即係未落嚟香港嘅時間咧，係教嘅功夫咧，係嗰陣時嘅功夫。佢50年代落嚟香港教功夫又唔同，正話我講過啦，佢不停同人哋對抗啊嘛，打鬥啊嘛，比賽啊嘛，所以佢嘅功夫係修正咗嘅，改動咗嘅功夫啊，所以同呢個即係話佛山功夫係有啲差別嘅。雖然佢係有啲亦都係葉問徒弟，但係講起上嚟就40幾年啦。
Foshan lies at the inlet of the Pearl River in mainland China, close to Guangzhou. It has a rich history of Southern-style kung fu and was the ancestral home of both Yip Man and Bruce Lee. Wing Chun arrived in Foshan because of its strong ties to Cantonese opera. The opera stars and actors sailed up the river in red junks or boats, and many were skilled in kung fu and in Wing Chun. It may be no coincidence that Bruce Lee's father was a famous Cantonese opera star. As a tribute to the Grand Master of Wing Chun, the city of Foshan built the Yip Man Museum in 2002 with the support of Yip Man's descendants. Located between a Confucius temple and an opera stage, the museum also serves as a historical record of Wing Chun. In the world of martial arts, the museum is unique.
我们之前就是还没拍叶问的时候呢，我们的游客量也比较多的，但是拍了叶问这部电影之后，确实那个游客是多了很多，特别是外国的游客是比较多。我也看过，因为他的第一部首映是在我们这里，就是开机仪式是在我们这里搞的，就是当时甄子丹他们也过来了，我们这里因为佛山是一个武术文化底蕴比较深厚的一个城市，所以叶问的儿子就叶准先生和叶正先生两个就看中了我们这个说是福地吧，所以我们这些展品都是叶问先生的儿子捐赠给我们的，有很多也是他的弟子，主要就是他的儿子。
The most famous exhibit is Yip Man's Muyang-jung, or wood dummy. This version is Yip Man's own design that he introduced into Hong Kong. Most of Yip Man's personal belongings on display were donated by his two sons.
他们两个是经常来，经常不定时的来，叶准先生和叶正先生都是，还有带一些弟子过来。
當年我哋 喺佛山成立葉問堂嘅時間，由我大佬執筆嘅時間寫過一篇可以講詞去紀念葉問。頭2個字可以代表晒葉問嘅一生，半世風流灑脱，一生磊落光明。佢個人係好活躍、好隨便嘅人，唔係話好古縮、好咩嘅人。但係咧佢從來做嘅嘢係個人都知得㗎，唔會話呢啲嘢咧，我就淨係對某個人呢啲嘢，對另一個人佢冇呢種嘢咁呢兩句説話可以概括咗葉問嘅一生嗰個過程。
Bruce Lee played a small but significant role in Wing Chun history by introducing his fans around the world to the martial art and to his mentor, Yip Man. On display are rare handwritten letters by Lee discussing Wing Chun and his own fighting art, Jeet Kune Do.
因为我们是2002年建造这个叶问堂的时候，开始的人都不太认识叶问，因为叶问先生在传媒上也不是很广泛，不像黄飞鸿拍了那么多部电影的。但是为什么那些人会认识叶问先生呢？主要是他有一个很有名的弟子是李小龙，因为李小龙是佛山人，他的爸爸是我们粤剧的4大名丑之一，他跟叶问先生是一个好朋友，后来就李小龙就跟叶问先生就学武术，所以就出了这么一个有名的弟子，世界各地的人都知道叶问先生。
On 2nd of December 1972, Yip Man died of cancer. The students Yip Man left behind are his greatest legacy. The history of Hong Kong Wing Chun can be traced back to mainland China and to Foshan. Over a dozen distinct styles of Wing Chun can be found here, most of which originated from the Red Boat performers. Although the ancestral home of Yip Man has been knocked down and covered by a small park, strong ties to Yip Man remain in Foshan through schools of the same lineage. Foreign students take great pride in coming to Foshan to begin their Wing Chun training. It is here that Wing Chun took root and flourished. It has survived war, rebellion, and a cultural revolution. As new students begin their training, the first generation can still be found practicing at the Moyenzhong. Though the gap between them is vast in terms of years, the practice of Wing Chun brings them together. Master Lun Kai started his Wing Chun training with Yip Man in 1941 when he was 14 years of age. He is one of only 2 original Yip Man Foshan students left today. Although poor health has stopped him teaching, he remembers the early years when he was introduced to Yip Man by his nephew.
周光耀呢個我外甥仔嘛，即係大家幾個一齊學嘅。就周光耀老豆咧就同阿葉問咧就好朋友嘅，佢周時都有接濟，即係經濟上接濟佢。頭先阿問咧就經濟好困難，咁所以周時接濟佢接濟之中咧就。佢見咁情況咧，就即係教翻幾個，教你幾個咁樣嘅。一個就周光耀啊，一個呂伯應啊，就一個就陳珠新啊，一個就周世強，咁啊曾蘇， 咁啊7個人嘅，即係國父咁樣啊。晚頭淨係晚頭，即係食完飯啊，走入學校嘅。
一日大概玩幾多個鐘啊？
一日啊，大約5點鐘啊，至到10點鐘多。咁啊都有啲㗎，不過唔同派啫。啊，冇咩，當時我哋都唔知道邊種好。咁啊，正式係個阿文教我哋喎，咁我哋就學啲咁啫嘛。黐手試過綁住眼黐啫，試過。都係照間呢啲咁教套路咁教啫，真係照間呢啲一樣啫。梗係好啊！咁樣發展到越多人越好。
It has been 70 years since Yip Man taught him Wing Chun, and in the 7 decades since, Lun Kai has lost count of the many students he has taught. Some went back to their own country and became teachers. Some remain his students and continue to practice. It is here that our story ends where Wing Chun began, with a foreign student taking his first steps on the same journey that Lun Kai took those 7 decades ago.